Are you doing any gameplay that like involves skill or thought or video games, or is this just a fucking push button simulator?
Seems to be a push button simulator at this point.
Superficial wound on the right thigh. The blood is identical to that on the fence.
So that's what was supposed to lead you up the hill, but we had already gone up the hill.
Back up the hill with you.
This is actually one thing LA Noire got mostly right, which is that it came out after this game.
I think it did, yeah.
Fingers were probably closed after the time of death.
Did you play all of LA Noire?
No, I quit.
Where did you stop?
The arson chapter.
Yes! Oh my fucking god, everybody! Okay.
Yeah, everybody. Like, literally everyone I know quit in the arson parts.
I remember going, oh really? Arson? And then I just quit.
Basically, it had a bunch of chapters with really, like, sort of compelling stuff going on in them, and then it just kind of was like, those end in anti-plotline noir anti-climax, and then it just, like, I mean, it's still leading up to something, but it really does just kind of feel like, oh, and here's arson also.
For anyone who hasn't played it, basically you're like this detective, and you get to check out all of these cool crimes that kind of mirror the Black Dahlia, and it's like, oh, cool. And there's even a shootout on a movie set, and you're like, oh, cool, this shootout sucks because the game mechanics are bad. But I'm saying it. The game mechanics are bad, but I'm still enjoying this shootout in a movie set. Oh, I'm having so much fun. And the game's like, no, you're punished. You're gonna be on arson team now. And you're like, I quit.
Also, the femme fatale thing is the absolute fucking worst I've ever seen in my entire life.
What? Like, really?
So here's the thing, right? They're like, oh, it's a noir game, so let's have a femme fatale. Somebody remind me what a femme fatale is? Oh, a femme fatale is when we add a female character to the game, who's like the only female character who has any lines, or isn't just like a suspect you're interrogating, and she doesn't really have a personality, and she's not actually seducing you, or like involved in anything particularly sketchy, really, but somebody hits her at some point and it makes you sad, and then you decide to like stalk her home because you're a cop, and then you have an affair with her for seemingly no reason, and yeah, that's the femme fatale in the game.
No, I don't remember this shit at all. All I remember is walking around with my little notebook going, yeah, that seems like murder.
Well, think about it, yeah. The game had a femme fatale in a noir game, and you don't remember her.
Give me the first idea that pops into
your head. It's so sad.
Like,
the butterfly.
I had a conversation with somebody, like, that was a little, that got slightly heated, where I was kind of commenting on the fact that, like, that game doesn't really, like, it has no real interesting uses in its storyline for female characters, and I was saying that really felt like it was missing from a noir setting. They're like, well, it's trying to be, like, accurate to the period, and I'm like...
That fucking readout...
Accurate to the period? There's a bunch of fucking women in old noir. Read a book! Watch a movie!
Yeah, like...
Yeah.
Like, you cannot read a contemporary novel of this era,
everything seems to
or like 10 years on either side of it that stars like, except
what
like
the fuck?
some backlash after World War II. That's just like that has like a detective and has boring female characters in it. This is entirely a modern issue.
Watch the episode of Next Generation where he pretends to be a noir policeman for a couple times. Remember that? There's plenty of ladies in that. Okay? Like, come on.
Yeah, just like any given Philip Marlowe story has like way more interesting and witty and cool female characters in it than LA Noire does.
Yeah.
How is Shaun?
So we get our psychiatry done in the chapel where Vicious and Spike fought, and our...
He's really close to his mother.
Roger Rabbit? Roger fucking Rabbit?
Distant.
Sorry.
It's not easy to tell because they don't really show both of them in the same shot much, but
I no longer want to live.
That dude's not looking at us at all. Like, his eyes are not looking in Ethan's direction.
To be fair, if you were his psychiatrist, would you?
Shaun doesn't need a father like me.
I mean, I guess if I were his psychiatrist, I would live in a fucking church.
Something else
like tower? What the fuck?
I think it's absolutely
what?
fucking hilarious that a psychiatrist has like a big MRI readout that says sadness when he's looking at a patient.
I was trying to point that out.
That is not the funniest thing about this guy. The funniest thing about this guy is the ego fucking poster he has. If you walk into a psychiatrist's office and he has an ego poster, walk out. Run out if you can.
Is it just me or does he look a little bit like H Bomber Guy?
Idea how I got there.
Oh, that's mean.
Just
No,
like a
H Bomber
little
Guy's
bit.
way cuter. No. H Bomber Guy's way cuter. He's way
We're in
cuter.
a coma for 6
That is
months.
true.
We really don't know what effect a shock like that can have on the brain.
I like he just leans out of the frame.
That's the end of this session. We'll continue.
How many
this
of the
conversation
actors in
next
this
week.
game are like French
Names?
people doing
You were lucky.
English
It's very rare
dialogue?
to survive.
Because a lot of
Probably
people
most
seem to
of
have a
them.
French accent.
I don't exactly feel
Hold on, let me-
Infamously, a lot of them.
Like, I can't speak to their nationalities, but I'll go over a list of names real quick. Okay, never mind. They're all very hard to pronounce, but they're mostly French.
It's hard to make generalizations about like psychiatrists in games and movies because like on the one hand like bad psychiatrists and psychologists like definitely exist. On the other hand, mostly the psychiatrists and psychologists
Aren't you gonna
in
go
video
play
games
with
and
the other
movies
kids?
are all like this would be like in the worst
I don't feel
10%
it.
of people in this profession.
It's honestly why I never wanted to go
There's
to a
something the matter,
therapist
Shaun.
because every modern telling of a therapist, except for maybe in Sopranos, is like, this is bad for you, actually.
Yeah. Look at this severe
things go to school
judgmental effete intellectual
because I
who
did-
stares at
Yeah.
you clinically like a mantis in a cage from within their
Right.
cold,
I'm sorry
severe
about that.
office.
Next time. we'll
Okay,
really
but
pull
like,
together,
Peter
okay?
Stormare in Until Dawn is still a cool dude.
Yeah. Yeah, just a terrible
It's
therapist.
funny to me. The
I mean,
one of
that
the
makes sense though,
few-
but whatever.
major pop culture things I can think of where therapists were not portrayed negatively, or at least not intentionally, is like Star Trek: The Next Generation, where it's like, oh yeah, they'll have a counselor as like one of the senior staff. Why not? But unfortunately, everyone who wrote that show doesn't know anything about psychology, so she's just like
She was
doing Freud.
literally an empath. No, she was literally an empath. So then, if you were a person watching that show, you're like, well, I'm never gonna meet an alien that can literally read my feelings. So why fucking bother?
I haven't been on a seesaw in a long time.
I'll be honest, until
What do
you
you
said
think?
she was an empath, I thought Josh was talking about Beverly
Yeah.
Crusher.
How?
God
She's
damn
a
it.
medical doctor.
Well, I thought she did psych therapy too, like mental therapy. I don't know.
What did you think
a-
Troy did?
Not a
That's a
lot.
good question.
Oh my fucking god! Okay, no, this has to end. I need to... It's like the pain box in Dune. I can't get into this. I can't get into this.
I feel like Ethan isn't really having fun here.
Look, he's connecting with his
This
kid for the
kid is
first
like-
time in like
no.
7 years.
How
like,
old is this
if you
kid?
actually-
Like 8? What 8-year-old wants to play on a seesaw? Huh?
Put
None.
on a seesaw.
I mean,
When you were
I'm
8?
36 and I'll do it.
12.
Okay, no. This kid doesn't want to be playing on no seesaw.
I just
Get
all
him
I'm
a
saying
video
is
game.
Ethan easily weighs 3 times as much as that kid, and he's not using his weight to push down on it. He's using his hands, and I think that's just a lot of work.
I'm just imagining like an alternate version of this game where Ethan uses all his weight and Shaun just goes flying into the air and falls and dies, and that's the end of the game.
Why not bring a baseball to this park? Why not bring a frisbee to this park?
There's a
Some kind
basketball.
of
Can't
activity.
afford it right now.
Go to the dollar store. Like, I'm sorry. He's got to think a little ahead when he's spending time with his son.
He brings one of his
They had
many
they had
spare
a
cartons
remote
of orange
control.
juice.
They had that remote control car, but things took a dark turn where Ethan kept accidentally driving it into Shaun.
I'll find something else to do with him.
Let's push him on the swing. That's something kids like.
I do enjoy the mechanic of just like desperately trying to
wanna go
find
play on the
like
swing?
things that would be fun to do with your child.
I'll push
Like
you.
I think like I could
a
play an
rainy
entire
park.
game, like just an entire depressing game where you're like a sad dad trying to find ways to like bring even a little bit of joy into your
Ask
son's
Reddit.
life. Yeah.
Like, seriously.
I don't know if you want to
do
ask
a
Reddit
little-
in 2010.
I don't know, actually. But ask
Am I-
Quora. Remember Quora? It's still around.
Oh yeah.
Yahoo Answers?
Yeah, there you go. It really makes me sad that Yahoo Answers is now a
Oh,
feature
both
of
of
period
them.
fiction.
I'm not pushing dad.
I can't
Not
even
anymore,
push my
son,
son
not
on the
since the
swing
accident.
right.
Come on, Dad. Higher.
So yeah, like,
but like,
yeah. This is more compelling than the detective shit, for sure.
yes.
Yeah,
That's
oh,
what
yeah.
I was gonna say.
It is a little baffling at how busy this park is, given it's like muddy and raining.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, it's not raining. That's the other thing. Is like I thought.
No, there's literally rain dropping on the. It's like sprinkling. You can't see the raindrops, but they're there.
This is also one of the
feel
few
them.
moments of like really genuine emotional intelligence the game has, where it's smart enough to make this like a
That was
happy
cool.
moment.
I like all of the other sad dads. Like if you look in the background, there's all these other like adult fathers that are just
Yeah,
miserable.
because if you've seen this fucking park hamster, it sucks. There's like a rusty
got a
ass
merry-go-round.
carousel. No, that carousel's gonna give you like tetanus. Like, fuck this place.
I like
this
a
creepy
packet
guy selling
of
candy.
Strawberry
Candy
flavored chews.
chews? What?
I fundamentally
Yes,
believe
don't
that
you know
Ethan
all
Myers would look away
candy
from his
has
kid for,
candy.
Like, 5 seconds.
Okay, isn't it Ethan Winters? Let's not get his name wrong in a second. Wait.
Ethan Mars. It's Ethan
No,
Mars.
it's
Who the
Ethan
fuck's
Mars.
Ethan
Is it?
Winters?
Ethan Mars.
Oh, Ethan Winters is from Resident Evil. Okay.
Oh my
Never
god.
mind.
This is never gonna stop.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Hey,
I just want to make sure
Resident
we're getting
Evil
his name
8
right.
is just
I literally-
the continuing adventures of Ethan from this game.
See, if this game was smart, it
Thanks.
would have like
It was nice
made
of you
you. I actually think that should have been a scene where it's like, do you remember what kind of candy Ethan likes or not? Like, and that's actually the kind of little thing this game mostly gets right. So that
Looks
feels like
like
a waste of
rain.
Oh my God.
opportunity.
I think
You know what I would
better
do? I would be like, okay, what kind of candy does Ethan like? And then the player has to guess.
You know,
And then he
sometimes
brings
I
it
remember
back, and no
before,
matter what candy
I
you bring
mean,
back, he's
Jason
like,
was stuck
gross.
sometimes I
Licorice?
wish everything could
Gross.
just be the way it was
Strawberry
Or my
juice?
fucking
Like,
smokes dad.
Me too, Shaun.
no matter what, he hates it.
Should have
Smokes in a Miller High Life.
What is happening with this camera?
I feel like a bourbon is too classy for Shaun. I feel like he feels like a Miller High Life kind of child.
Or, what's that? Oh, Jaeger. He loves Jaeger.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Jaeger's for the boys. Miller's for High Life is for his dad.
That's right.
Hey, Dad. Can I
He
have
only
a
drinks
ride
4
on the
Locos,
carousel?
but before
Can
the
I?
formula change.
Sure.
Yeah,
He has a
motherfucker.
stockpile of them.
I'll get
Like
it.
going rusty in his garage.
Oh, does he get kidnapped on the carousel? I feel like I've seen this. Oh, everybody went silent. Okay. Cool.
Oh, it's 'cause the angle's kind of going Dutch, huh? Just like a little. Did it? Or did it actually not do that?
I mean,
It
I
started
don't
to
know
feel
if
like the
that was
camera went
intentional.
funny. It feels like
It's
the
hard
camera
to
suddenly
tell.
fucked up a little bit, but I guess that's not actually
Look
a
at-
Dutch angle. It's
look
just
at-
queasy.
wait. Look at, there's so many fucking rules on this board. No horseback riding allowed. Oh man, we can't take our horses here in North Philly or wherever the fuck this is.
Look,
There's
it's
always
America.
urban
It's full of
horses.
cowboys. I'm just
I did
picturing the
notice,
French version of.
Wait, do I have to go and oh, okay, no, there's somebody here operating it.
Yeah, you gotta like talk to the
One,
operator.
please. That's $1.
I don't think they can keep this thing running on $1 a ride.
Usually it's subsidized by like the city.
This would never exist.
Okay.
I only know one park that has an old-timey carousel, and it's like the most like expensive park you could possibly take your family. It's like up in the Berkeley Hills, and that's where all of the really rich people go. And they sell like Cracker Jacks and fudge. And like to get on the carousel is like $15. It's awesome.
Oh shit. Josh, did you? Man, The acid's
Look,
kicking in already? Come on.
The Jaeger, I mean, it was just a sip.
Did he just jizz a little bit? Look at his face there.
Okay,
also,
I
why?
feel
Also,
like
Carnaby
I did
Corner.
that.
Is that like an? Is that? This really feels like it's a reference to Alone in the Dark.
It's Canterbury corn.
Canterbury corn. Canterbury corn.
Candy corn.
Canterbury corn.
Canterbury corn.
Yes!
Broke me a little bit.
Canterbury corn. Good.
So is it a better choice to have you just like black out and then the child is missing, or would it be a better choice to like have you actually like manage to lose the kid normally?
Not lose the kid normally, but have him be distracted. Have him lost in grief, lost in thought. Something that makes him. This feels almost
call.
supernatural. Yeah,
Get like a phone
like this
call,
feels
it's
supernatural.
like, yeah.
Like you are literally, there is no way you can keep track of your kid. You are now mentally wherever Josh is sitting on a street yelling Shaun. Like you are in a completely different place.
Right.
Whereas if
I was gonna say, I played this entire game in my early 20s, and I remember playing it and thinking that it was just something that happened to people who were like very alcoholic. They just lost time, and so that's what I thought they were going for.
Yeah, just like his sipping one flat beer from fridge.
He had a
Just made
sip
him
of
black
one
out.
single beer, and now he's lost time. Is what I thought in
Like-
my early 20s.
have the guy that bought candy come up to him and be like, "Hey, you gave me a fraudulent $1," and he gets distracted by that, and then someone else he gets a
Yeah.
phone call from something he's expecting, and like
His
suddenly
wife.
there's 3 or 4 distractions. Yeah, hey,
Yeah,
where's the
his
alimony
wife.
payment?
Like that would
Our
have been
fancy
perfect.
house. Our fancy
Wife.
hideous house is gonna sell itself, you son of a
The
bitch.
sub
And,
pump
like,
is broken.
Does Sean's wife? Sorry, just not Sean. Does Ethan's wife even have a name?
My fucking wife.
It's his fucking wife. No, it's
just
the
so
wife.
angry. But like that would be so much better if you felt like he was just distracted and he failed his son again, his other son.
For God's sakes, Josh,
Whereas-
do something.
Just fucking do
don't
something,
wanna-
Josh. Jesus Christ.
No,
I don't want.
leave me alone.
Like it's muted for me, but I'm annoyed
Me
just
too.
watching it.
I
Yeah.
hope you mute this for the people at home because this
Fine.
is awful.
Oh, we're running. All right, yeah.
Because there is a sense of urgency.
Reds, do you remember if they explained the blackouts later? I don't.
I was reading comments, and it's basically like the explanation was sort of soft cut from the game, but like it's
Yikes.
because it's just because like yeah, he got hit really hard in that car crash.
Oh, okay. Is that what
I
happens?
mean, apparently. Is there? I don't know. Okay,
Oh,
is
now,
that, is
now
that
it
what
feels like a
happens?
video game.
Is sort of a. I feel like that's a loaded question because one thing I learned
Yes.
from very briefly attempting to like create some kind of damage system for RPGs early in my career is that medicine makes no fucking sense, and like trauma and traumatic injuries
Neither do brains.
could do
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, brains can do anything.
So we're not whisked away to. So the editing of that made me feel like we were whisked away to a fictional street. I didn't realize that this was just the same real world.
No, we're 2 blocks
hours
over.
later. Because like I thought we blacked out and woke up in a dream because
Maybe
Josh
he's in
was
the
being a
toilet
dick,
closet.
standing in the street in an empty street screaming Shaun
Yeah.
for 30
How does
minutes.
that even happen? Like, how does
Definitely
how
feel
does
like-
no one
yeah.
stop this guy?
I also definitely feel like this creates like way too fast an escalation because like the creepy
Yeah.
horror of oh my god, Shaun is missing, I managed to lose my other kid, and like you run through everything in your head from like, you know, is he just like wandered off, did someone take him, to like, and to then you arrive at like, oh my god, it was like the kidnapper, it was like it's the Origami killer, he has my son, holy shit. Like that is that could have been really powerful, but if it's just like you wander away and everybody's gone, then like it feels like you're almost immediately
Oh, no,
jump to
the
obviously the
Origami
Origami killer
killer-
has my child.
The origami killer was in the truck and he disappeared the rest of the human race.
Also, it really clearly feels like it's supposed to be
new
a new bonus. It really clearly feels like it's supposed to be like a mystery / intrigue thing where like we're waking up from these comas with the origami in our hands. Like, what does that mean? Like, what is the significance of this? It's supposed to like draw you into the mystery, but in retrospect, I'm pretty sure that's a total red herring, and that means nothing.
I feel like this whole sequence would have been stronger if we stuck with Ethan up until the point where Shaun gets disappeared and then went off to other people for a while. Like, having that random-ass fucking murder investigation in the middle of Ethan's sad dad story, like, really kind of broke it up.
It means a thing. It does.
I mean, like, obviously the origami killer means a thing, but does it mean a thing that he's holding the origami, like, that the origami has been pressed into his hand on both occasions he blacked out?
I gotta see Captain Perry. Orders
I
are
mean,
orders.
yeah.
Gee,
I
I
guess.
hate internal politics bullshit.
I don't know.
I can't really discuss
it.
it. Yeah, I can't really discuss it without spoiling it.
We'll circle back to this one. You know what? Let's put a pin in this, because, like, this is exactly what you're not really expected to do, is to actually remember all of this stuff by the time the end of the game rolls around, so we're just gonna do that.
I don't know why I have a pretty okay memory of this game. It must have had some kind of impact on me.
Yeah, there's cool stuff in it. Oh, and now we get to play, like, virtual reality fucking tennis for two.
Oh my god. Do you think they thought in 10 years this will definitely be a thing?
How much would you hate this guy if you were just a regular old copperoni?
Yeah, you're just like sitting there, like on your Smith Corona or whatever, and you just like look over and there's this dude playing VR Pong, like bouncing a ball off the back of your head.
Fuck this guy.
He's got like millions of dollars worth of experimental technology that he's using to play video games and fuck around inside your precinct.
That's what I'm saying.
And he's a drug addict also. He's just like huffing drugs in the
I
bathroom.
hate this guy.
I do like how his fucking super exciting AR game is, I have a wall and I have a baseball and I bounce the baseball off of the wall.
I'm off, Charlie.
As we've established, baseballs are very expensive in this universe, okay? So it's...
Agent Norman Jaden from the FBI is here.
That would also be such an unsatisfying game to play because, like, I don't know if you've ever tried playing, like throwing a ball in VR or whatever, but like it turns out that 90% of the pleasure of like bouncing a tennis ball off something is like the weight and impact of the tennis ball.
Perhaps there's a better time.
It's like punching something without all of the paperwork.
Exactly. Like throwing things in virtual reality is only fun if you're throwing them through plate glass.